Rocking the Dodgers hat after their second win in the World Series.
What?
What, did you not know? Are you just rocking a Dodgers hat and you don't know what they're doing? How's it going? I'm Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate, affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is, what's today, bro? It's the 28th? It's the 28th. No, it's the 28th.
Oh, 28th.
So it's the 28th of October, 2024. I'm here, my man Dora's here.
I'm Dora.
Rocking the Dodgers hat after their second win in the World Series.
What?
What, did you not know? Are you just rocking a Dodgers hat and you don't know what they're doing? Well, you're wearing the right hat.
That's what happened. I was like, that's a good looking hat.
I could talk for too long about the last couple of games, but yes, the Dodgers are winning the World Series. This is a video about housing in Utah. Has nothing to do with the Los Angeles Dodgers or who they're playing, the New York Yankees, but it is going well for my team, the Dodgers, and I'm glad you came in wearing a Dodgers hat instead of a Yankees hat, which I would have made you take off. But guys, this is the numbers and the nuances where you come weekly in order to know exactly what Utah's housing market is looking like. And we're just gonna jump right in as always. I'll tell you kind of my nuanced opinion of what all the numbers I see on the MLS are telling me about the state of our market, as well as just my experience in the market, being in it 24/7. And then we'll look at the numbers and the charts and graphs so you can see the trends of where things are going and not just take my word for it on the nuanced opinion that I give, but you can look at the numbers for yourself and make decisions. I want you to make informed decisions in real estate. Few things are more devastating than making mistakes in buying or selling real estate. Devastating financially, I mean. So we'll jump right into the nuance of the market right now. Our market is really looking as we'd expected. Nothing flamboyant or flashy going on this last week. So if you've been watching any of these recently, you kind of know the direction things are headed. If you know what real estate does in Utah seasonally, then you probably have a pretty good idea of where things are headed right now. We've peaked in terms of our supply of available housing for sale. That's typical in October. And as we head into cooler months, fewer people want to list their homes and move. And so we've hit the high point about a month ago at 11,330 something homes available for sale. And that's leveled out. It's come down from that peak and leveled out a little bit. We anticipate it to moderately drop through colder weather. Again, of course, because we're headed into colder weather, we're just talking seasonally about the market right now. The amount of time that homes stay on the market, once they're put on the market, that is getting a little bit longer. This is also expected as we head into colder months. So you'll see that trend on the charts that we show. As you'd expect, during colder weather, the demand for buying homes comes down a little bit. So both people trying to sell homes and people trying to buy homes, just all the activity just dips a little bit. So we're seeing a moderate dip in demand, both in terms of how many homes are selling every week and in terms of how many homes are under contract right now. Now, average home price seems to have taken a travel upwards the last month. We were pretty level at like 650K-ish being the average asking price for homes when they got listed, but that crept up over the last 6 weeks to a month. I'll tell you why I don't believe that's because housing prices are actually raising as a trend, okay? First, we had a higher number than normal recently in the last several weeks of lots of homes that were multi-million-dollar homes being sold. Okay, and that skewed our average list price pretty dramatically several times across the last several weeks. But also our median home price hasn't really changed. It has stayed at about 515,000. So the number I give you in the charts from the MLS here is always average home price, and we see that go up and down. It varies from week to week. It's usually a certain amount over median just because of what our housing market looks like right now. But right now, average home price looks to have traveled up a bit. I believe it has hit a peak and that we will see it also moderately drop as weather gets cooler and there's just less real estate activity here in this snowy state. All right, let's check out these numbers. Inventory as of this morning stands at 11,219, which is down a bit from the previous week. Like we said, this has leveled out. It hit a peak about a month ago. The last 4 data points on this chart are below the red trend line, which looks to be going up overall, but this inventory, I believe, has hit peak and will moderately decline from here. Average days on market, the average amount of time, the number of days it takes for a home to accept an offer and go into contract, that is trending up, but it's, as of last week's average, I should say, it's at 56, which was exactly the same as the week before. So no movement from one week to the next, but this is trending strongly up, as you can see. Average list price this prior week, like I said, this looks to have been traveling up. Last week, average list price was $707,226, down several tens of thousands from the prior week. It's hard to see that on the chart because the little white box in which the number sits is covering up the last data point, but that's down from the prior week. This looks to be trending up. As I said in the nuanced portion, I do believe this will be moderately coming down from this point on. Our average sold price last week came to $690,667, which is obviously below the average list price. So that difference between average list and average sold price last week came to the amount of $16,559 in the buyer's favor. We've seen some variability here going in and out of the buyer's favor, and I do think that is directly tied again to the number of homes recently that just happen to have been sold far over the median or even average list price, up in the multi-millions of dollars. So I think that's thrown off some of the numbers here, but in general still, especially if you're buying anything in between like in the 400s to up to like a million, even 1.5, in general, those negotiations are going in the buyer's favor as far as list versus sold price. Number of homes sold last week came to 515, which is up from the previous week, but we can see this trending down. Number of homes that are currently under contract are at 5,076, which is down from the previous week, and see this also trending down. So both homes sold previous week and currently under contract are numbers that give us a good idea of the level of demand. Both of them are trending down. So as I said in the nuance part, we see demand, buyer activity starting to come down a little bit in the colder weather. The number of price reductions last week came to 1,067, which is down from the previous week. This is trending up overall. Looks to have been trending sharply down over the last month. That might be because there are fewer listings coming on, and so there's just fewer homes on the market in general to drop their prices. But generally what we see on price reductions across colder weather is that this number rises. So this is trending up, looks to have trended down over the last few data points, but I anticipate it continuing to be over 1,000, up into the 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 in the coming months. The number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn this previous week came to 367, up a little bit from the prior week. I don't know what prior means. Up a little bit from the prior week. And we can see this trending up. That is expected with the season. And finally, our interest rates for a standard 30-year conventional loan are at 6.9, up just a little bit from the previous week. This looks to be trending down overall from the beginning point of the chart at the beginning of July, the beginning of the third quarter. But we obviously see this chart showing us that it took a few months to drop, and then it took a month and a half to come pretty much right back up to where it was. Not back to 7% yet, but sort of basically. We'll just see what happens there. We'll just see what happens with the economy. We'll see what happens with the election. A lot of people feel like the elections dramatically affect housing, and it really doesn't. That's it for this week, guys. Dora, do you have any questions other than, am I wearing the right hat?
Am I wearing the right hat?
Absolutely wearing the right hat. Don't come in here with a Yankees hat on. I won't hit you because you'll hit back, but...
You probably knocked me out.
No, you're the boxer, bro. So yeah, that's it. And if you don't have any questions, then we'll just wrap up and say, hey, if you know anybody looking to buy or sell, or if you are somebody who needs to buy or sell a home in Utah, especially in the Davis, Salt Lake, or Utah counties, you know I know this market like the back of my hand, and hopefully you know that I'll be happy to work with you. Make sure you always know what's happening next. I never want you to feel anxious in this process. I want you to go in feeling educated. I want you to ask me all the questions you have. I just really want to be there for you. And if you would like to stay educated on the Utah housing market, there is not going to be a better way than to hit subscribe on this video and just stay up to date and educated with us from Monday to Monday or whenever you watch these. Thanks for watching this one, guys. See you next time.
Deuces.
Deuces.